To have a look at that as well. Dewsbury are well up for this. There's a good crowd in here. Crowd all underneath us and over in the stand there. So certainly still a good attraction, the Toronto Wolfpack.
We caused a bit of consternation, I have to tell you, because there's one gentleman who normally stands right underneath where we're standing at the moment, and he was disappointed that he couldn't stand there. Talk about experience. Robert Hicks is our referee there. We see him with a grin and a ball underneath his arm. Robert Hicks, very much a Super League referee, is in charge today. I wonder whether that's in reaction to the two coaches, because they both just talked about the referees at the end of their games last week, and I think Neil Kelly, the Dewsbury coach, was saying something about he'd watched the Batley game, and if they were refereed a bit better than Batley had been, his side have got a chance today. So I wonder if they've decided to put a very experienced man out there to counter those allegations or suggestions.
Well, there'll be something of that in there, but Paul Rowley's also been in the press and mentioned the protection of halves. Really, I think it's one of the issues that's on the agenda. I think Robert Hicks will referee it the way he sees it, and so he should.
Yeah,
and so as long as we get a free-flowing game and it's not a whistleathon, I'm sure both teams will be satisfied.
Well, here comes Dewsbury, led out there by their very experienced number 6, Paul Sykes, might be 36 years of age, but he can still turn a trick or two in rugby league terms on the field. Sounds like a very traditional entry as well, with that brass band music in the background. Doesn't that stir the heart? This is the way they're lining up tonight, or even this afternoon. Gusdek at fullback for Dewsbury, Warrensey, Hallett, Glover and Potts, the three-quarters, Sykes, alongside the returning Gareth Moore in the halves. Brown, Walshaw, Crowther, the back three, Everett, Speakman and Riley in the front row for Dewsbury. And the Toronto Wolfpack playing in white today. Well, there's the subs, of course. Sam Day, Jack Treenby, Trout and Ward, the ex-Leeds hooker. And the Toronto side in white. O'Brien a hat-trick last week. Kay, Stanley, Worthington, Hicks in the three-quarters. McCrone and Briley in the halves. Some real zip there. Sidlow, Ackers, Sims in the front row. Bussey, Maitur and Buchanan in the back row. There's some real muscle there. And Krasnicki, Whiting, Bezic and Hopkins on the bench. And Mr. Hicks waits until we've got through those team sheets. That's very kind of him. Before he gets this game underway, it's going to be Gareth O'Brien who's going to launch this kick downfield. It's startlingly white, that, isn't it? If there's not a wash powder product who want to get their names involved with Toronto Wolfpack, I'd be very surprised, because that's a startlingly white strip that they kick off in, and it's going to be the red, black and gold, amber of Dewsbury, who have possession in these early stages. Don Speakman is the man at dummy half, collecting from the heels of Everett. And Dewsbury looking for something to lift their confidence maybe in these early stages because of the defeats they suffered.
Well, it's an old adage, we've mentioned it before, losing is habit forming as well, Dave, so you've got to break that habit, and generally it's with a little bit of tough stuff, carrying the ball a little bit stronger than you normally do, defending a little bit harder than you normally do, and hoping that you get the bounce of the ball to turn your fortunes around in relation to the result.
Martin Riley put down. We don't mind an old adage or two, Brian. Riley's put down 10 minutes. I tell you what, it is a small pitch. You feel as though we're standing on one touchline. It feels like you can reach out and touch the opposite touchline. It's very tight here.
I think the tightness it is genuine in the width. Most teams now cope with short fields, as in not 100 metres, but it's the width, difficulty of play, so the physical element of the game becomes more to the fore.
O'Brien fields it back towards the 20-metre mark. Bussey is driving it forward again. So Toronto with Ackers going to his right and Sidlow. Good response in defence from the Dewsbury three, who get in there and make that tackle. So Buchanan now will carry it forward. So it's a big pack, isn't it, that starts here today. Sidlow and Sims and Buchanan and Bussey, Maitur all in there. Here it goes to that right-hand side to Rennie Maitur, who's tackled just over the halfway line. That's 5, so here comes the last.
That's a good defensive set from Dewsbury.
Kick by O'Brien is high. The rain's getting heavier, the ball getting slippy. The thundering hooves would have been deafening in his ears there, but that's a good take. And Dewsbury had possession. Josh Gusdek, that was. Former Hull KR.
He's been getting some big write-ups. He's playing well from this year's Gusdek, and more often than not in a beaten team recently, he's been shining.
Well, they put up a decent performance in the first half, did Dewsbury against Featherstone last week. I think it was only 22-18 at half-time, but they ended up losing 46-18, so it's those second halves that they have to take care of. Dewsbury moseying their way forwards. The historians will tell you that in the early 70s they were quite a team. Won the championship, I think it's 72. Talk about Leeds in the modern era winning it from 5th. I think Dewsbury that year won it from 8th. But they've not had too many big days since then. Toronto. Brian brings it to this left-hand side, and Liam Kay is getting involved. It's interesting how much she's in the centre of the field in these early stages. Bussey now will take it forward. Kay retreats back to his left wing. Bussey plays. Akers picks up. Now Sims to drive it forward. Ashton Sims, the Fijian international. He's 30 metres out. Akers collects, and Buchanan drives it on again. It's honest, steadfast work by the big men up the middle at the moment. But on tackle 5 has taken Toronto to within the 20 metres. Closest they've been so far. Briley going through hands. O'Brien as well. And here's a chance. The ball is let slip, but it's through the hands of Chase Stanley before it's touched down. And it's a knock-on. It's a handover on the 6th.
Yeah, he adjudicated the knock-on there, the ball from O'Brien, wasn't it? Stanley it is, so he's trying to get his winger free. There he goes, spilled it in front.
Well, he had 2 or 3 moments like that against Batley last week, didn't he? When he was under so much pressure, trying to keep it alive. And it started here with something similar. We will see the best of Chase Stanley. He's a stellar signing for Toronto. Dewsbury moving their way out of the 20-metre mark at the moment, with some good old-fashioned hard labour again, and they've lost the ball in the contact, so it's going to be picked up by Sidlow, who can turn and run it back, and held down. Well, it says 30 metres away according to the line, but the 40-metre line is only a step back. So
it's not
I don't think it's a full 30.
For our viewers, it's not an optical illusion. There isn't 10 metres between those two lines. It's a short field, so they take off the metres between the 30 and the 40.
Akers to McCrone, and back it comes to O'Brien, who's looking left, and Worthington trying to spin away from the attentions of James Glover. Back today, James Glover, from a hamstring injury. And there might be an injury here to Worthington, who hobbles out of that play the ball. We'll keep an eye on that, though, as Sims will take it in again. 10 metres out. Akers back to Briley. Briley now. O'Brien's chiming in, and he's dropped the ball. He'll claim he had it stolen, but the referee says no, it was dropped, and there's a bit of Akers going on between him and Rob Warrancy on that other side. And everyone's getting involved. Just let off a bit of pressure. Just a robust version of the hokey-cokey going on, nothing too serious. Robert Hicks has seen all of this kind of thing many times down the years.
Well, here's a play from O'Brien.
Well, he had a case there.
Yeah, he just a bit try. Played at that, didn't he? The defender.
Macaulay Hallett. I think we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. You don't say that to me. You don't say that to me. And it's all a bit of shirt pulling and pushing and angry looks. Nothing serious. Robert Hicks just pointing out that we don't need that kind of thing on a rugby league field, fellas. Sykes and McCrone, tell your teams to calm down. But if we got the video ref here today, I think he'd have been going for the video ref, and I think we might have been talking about the first try of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's a live feed, as they say. It's a live game, so no video referee. So Dewsbury get away with one there.
And they have possession, and it's not quite the hill of Batley, but it's still a decent slope. But they bring the ball up, and they are helped by the fact that Toronto have just sneaked themselves offside. So a penalty kick for touch for Paul Sykes here.
Well, it's all helpful in these conditions. We saw play 3 dropped by the Dewsbury player by hitting underneath the ball, so the conditions will worsen, and so things like penalties will help this Dewsbury team down the field.
Tap restart is taken by Hallett. It's taken his side rather deep inside that Toronto half. Because of the shortness of the pitch, defence becomes attack in a very, very quick space of time. There's Wiley, Martin Wiley, new this year, signed from Halifax. Speakman popping it back into the hands of Aaron Brown, another of those who in his career He was with the Leeds Rhinos Academy. Here's Gareth Moore to Sykes, and Sykes lobs it back to fullback Guzdek, and Guzdek meets with resistance in the shape of 3 Toronto players. Less than 10 away though here, Dewsbury. First real attack for them so far in the game. Sykes with a kick. It hits the man who'd advanced in front of the ball and deflected out of play. And a tap back on the 20. Seven
tackles from the 20 metres. That's the big reward for an inaccurate kick. Got a bit of deflection from Paul Sykes there, which took it dead in goal. There's the deflection off his own player as well. I think we'll find there's been a change for the Wolfpack. Richard Whiting has appeared out here on the left-hand side, so Worthington should be off the field.
Yeah, he got that bang, didn't he, early on when he was tackled down this right-hand side by Glover. Anyway, Sims will cart it forward. Ashton Sims. Andy Ackers, the dummy half, goes to the right-hand side. Brierley with a little probing kick there. It's going to keep in play. That's not a bad thing, because it means that it has to be picked up by Guzdek, and he's got some work to do, and he's done okay, the fullback, but Brierley hangs on, clings on, pulls him down 12 away. Here comes Rob Warrancy.
He's a big unit, isn't he?
Oh, we've seen him down in Super League down the years, haven't we? London and Castleford. He's new this year as well, Rob Warrancy, having signed from Halifax too. Pick up from dummy half. Gareth Potts, another player who's relatively young, but established at this level for some years, and he might have got himself a penalty there. There's a little glance as he looks up, a little sheepish glance. The complaint from Buchanan was he being held on to.
Well, let's have a look. I think his arm's stuck. Yeah, his arm's stuck underneath his...
Yeah. Penalty given. Robert Hicks, the referee's got a big smile on his face. I think he's enjoying this occasion today as well. Here's Lucas Walshaw. 6'6" tall, big Lucas boy, Walshaw, yes. Takes some knocking over, but then it takes some getting up again. And here's another big fella as well, in Toby Everett.
He was with the Wolfpack last year, Toby Everett.
Of course he was, yeah. And now they go to that left-hand side. Sykes. And the impact again has sprung that ball free from Jordan Crowther. And Toronto will get ball back, 15 from their own line.
Yeah. A couple of penalties from the Wolfpack and a couple of drop balls from Dewsbury, giving neither side that red zone. Is that the right area? That attacking 20, 25. Nobody's been in there yet, have they, to show their prowess? That's the nearest either of the teams have got there. They dropped the ball.
Got one of these fancy watches that every now and again tells you to breathe. I've just had a little message, he says breathe. It doesn't know how exciting rugby league can be, Brian. There's no time for breathing in 40 minutes and then another 40 minutes of rugby league. Toronto 25 metres out from their own line, and very quickly galloping towards the halfway line. We're going to go down to Matt in just a second, because I think there's some injury news about Worthington, but let's just follow this here, because Whiting, the man who's replaced him, is threatening to make the break. He's 40 metres out, as you can see from that red line. So Sidlow, and here the collision, muscle on muscle, clamping into each other. Away goes Ackers again with a little dummy, and he's created space for himself here, Andy Ackers. Outrageous dummy from him, and put down right on that line, very close. Last play as well. Slipped away to McCrone. McCrone with a grubber kick to the in-goal area. Whiting, Bussey rather, I think, was bumped off there by a clever Paul Sykes to make sure he couldn't get to chase him. The tap back on the 20. Here it comes. 7 tackles for them. They're going to be tackled in the first instance. Macaulay Hannett, 30 out from his own line. So let's get that injury news right now. Let's go down to the touchline. Matt, what can you tell us?
Well, it's not good news, I'm afraid. Greg Worthington will play no further part in this game. You know, when Greg Worthington goes down, there's a problem. He's picked up a fairly major groin injury, so he will play no further part. He's gone straight down the tunnel for treatment, but we will not see Greg Worthington again this afternoon. OK, thanks for that, Matt. 16 players then for Toronto. That reduces their interchange options. 0-0 with very nearly 11 minutes played. And Dewsbury, having survived a couple of scares at their end, have it in the shape of Riley, who's lost it. The referee waves the arm in the air to say play on. It's a free play here, as O'Brien is tackled 25 metres out. Bussey, back to Kay, just on the inside shoulder of Sykes. Here's Ackers.
Now Sidlow.
Gets through some work, doesn't he, Sidlow? All the big blokes have started well. Buchanan, Sims.
Here's Sims, the aforementioned Ashton Sims. The 3 A's in the front row. Adam Sidlow, Andrew Ackers and Ashton Sims. Finding themselves in good position. Buchanan, the jack in the pack, and now it goes to Briley with a step inside, one flailing arm, but a couple of hard shoulders pulling him down. It's a penalty right in front of the sticks. Now, do Toronto contemplate 2 here? What do they roll on? They're in prime position. Yeah, Ackers, ball in hand, will take the tap, and here comes Sims with that first initial thrust. Held up just within touching distance almost of that line. Ackers again. Back now to Briley. Briley with a short pass, and it's a crash, bang, wallop of a try. Over goes. Was it Meitua who's got in there?
Yep.
Rennie Meitua, who's managed to force his way over, and Toronto have the first try of the afternoon.
Well, good timing and good weight of pressure. The penalty under the stick's crucial. Play on the Wolfpack as they do. Here's the Briley run. And here's the adjudication of the penalty. Trying to get up to play the ball, and adjudicated that Martin Riley had done too much, and then it's a simple one-on-one play from Rennie Meitua. Ryan Briley finds him, and do your best. Here he goes. Here's Meitua. He goes straight through Jordan Crowther for the score.
So there's the start that Toronto would have been hoping for. They get the lead here. They just damage a little that confidence of the Dewsbury side with that opening try.
Yeah, it's a good point that you make. That they wouldn't have wanted to concede. They wanted to get to 20-minute mark, maybe reasonably close. But they've got some resilience. You know, you mentioned the scoreline last week, 2018 against a good Featherstone team, so they're certainly not going to go away.
Yeah. It was the second half that did for them last week, and I think well, Neil Kelly's good coach, good fella. He'll have tried to fix things up from that, and that kick is not a good one. It has gone wide off the boots of Briley. He won't be happy with that, but Toronto, generally speaking, are happy with the start here. They lead by 4 points to 0 with nearly 14 minutes played.
Yeah, there's the play. Briley at the line. Rennie Meitua is one-on-one. A little bit of an outline, and gets on the outside of Jordan Crowd and takes him over the line.
Dewsbury fans are not happy. you can hear them on the terrace down below us. I won't be surprised if they started blaming you, Brian.
Everybody else does.
Yeah, everyone usually does. Once they spot you, fingers start pointing.
How many?
Sykes, I'm not sure what Sykes could. I mean, a discussion with the referee about that, but he does kick it off. The ball bounces a little awkwardly, but he's delivered safely into the arms of Ashton Sims, who starts in first gear, quickly up to second and changes up to fourth as well, but he's stopped in his tracks by a couple of brave defenders ahead of him. Sidlow now slamming it forward again. Well, the beauty of a small pitch, as we said, means that a couple of drives, they're already at the 30, and a couple of steps more, they're beyond the 40, as Bossy is nearly at the halfway line. So half the tackle count gone, half the field covered. McCrone, Sidlow, back to Briley. They've got numbers on that right-hand side. O'Brien, quick hands, and here comes a chance for a run from Chase Stanley. Loops it back on the inside. Hickson brushes off the defender. It's back-to-back tries for the Torontos. It's an eye-catching, glittering try for Toronto. Adam Hickson returning today and celebrates his return with a stunning try, a stunning touchdown in that right-hand side.
On the back of the tough stuff as well. That's the pleasing aspect of this Toronto try. In movement, in flowing, there you go. The big boys have done this stuff. Now it's the time for Sidlow to find Briley out the back. Meitua threatening the line. O'Brien releases Stanley, and he's away, and this ball's never dead. Hickson does the right thing, comes on his inside shoulder, and too big, too strong from there. Good try, good hand. Sidlow, the architect in chief at the middle, and Briley and O'Brien, we've seen that. Stanley makes the break on Moore. Makes the ball available for Hickson, who is too tough a job that for Gusdek.
Needed to be scored, that, didn't it? I mean, it was good build-up, but it still needed to be scored when it came to Hickson. He's done a good job for finishing.
Well, Josh Guzdecker, the last person you want to see is Adam Higson at 6'2" and gosh knows how many kilos.
So Ryan Briley with a conversion attempt, this time from the touchline. It's not long since he's been in a goal-kicking position before. It was a back-to-back try that. I think it was that was a fourth tackle, wasn't it, that they released. They released that spurring and off they went. So 8-0 the score at the moment. This to take it into double figures. Oof, big puff of the cheeks. Rain pouring down. Slate grey skies above this Dewsbury pitch. But Briley's got distance, but not accuracy. Puts it wide. So it remains at 8-0. And we've 16 minutes played. Neil Kelly there, the coach. Good fella. The one with the tie, if you don't know. Good fella. Great history in the game as a player. And he also coached Namibia Rugby Union side at once, in one spell as well, which one of the most unlikeliest things.
Namibia Rugby Union?
Namibia Rugby Union. Do you not know that?
Well, I knew, yeah. Kind of.
It's incredible where your careers, you coaching careers, where they go. I mean, when you'd started in this coaching business, one day you'd be the football manager of Toronto Wolfpack.
I wouldn't. But I am.
Yeah. So Toronto leading by 8-0. Ashton Sims firing it forward again. Speakman trying to get in his ribs. Good effort, helped by a couple of his bigger colleagues as well. Briley's behind a 40, he's going for at least a 40-20. It might be a potential try-scoring opportunity here, or he might, well, Moore's trying to knock it back in the inside. Briley keeps it alive, Chase Stanley picks it up, and they score a third try back-to-back. Great crafty kick from Briley. It got a little messy, but Chase Stanley ain't going to complain about that, because he's now scored the third Toronto try without Dewsbury laying hand on the ball, apart from Gareth Moore trying to desperately keep it alive there.
Well, it's another terrific exit set, and what I mean by that, they're getting out of their own half of this Toronto team, and they've gone for a 40-20 with Briley. They set the play up, he's got him inside the 40, saying, right, I'm going to leather this ball down there, and because the kick chase is so good, and the kick is very nearly perfect in respect to the 40-20, but an outstanding kick anyway, you can't club it up. I mean, it's Potts that can't clean the kick up. Toronto Wolfpack are in the chase. There you go. And he doesn't know what's happening behind him. He's looking. That's Moore, isn't it? That's trying to. He knows what to do. He's knocked it back to try and stop the 40-20, but because of the quality of the chase, a bit of flick-flack from Briley and Higson, Chase Stanley scores in the corner.
Big smile from Chase Stanley. Is that his first try? I think it is, isn't it? First try in his Toronto career. So that gets him up and running and settling into his new squad. And Ryan Briley keeps having these kicks. They're not getting any easier, Ryan. Right on the touchline. Dewsbury having a discussion behind the sticks, and there seems to be too much of a discussion going on at the moment. They know what they have to do. Here comes the kick. Oh, he's missed that. He's missed that. So it's 12-0. 12-0. Two-score lead. Could have been better, but he's not had the
like
best.
it's Dewsbury some hope, but not kicking those goals. I mean, 18-0, you're walking in and you're a little bit deflated. They just need a score to get back in this game. Easier said than done against this Toronto team, but let's stop these exit sets because they scored on the last two of Toronto.
So they made it 3 out of 3. It's a hat-trick of tries without Dewsbury getting hand on ball. What did Dewsbury do to stop this momentum? Ackers, Sidlow, McCrone, and across it comes, and Whiting. It's tackle 2. Kay, beyond the 40. So there's still 3 tackles to go. Sims again.
Yeah, the big blokes have gone well, haven't they? Sims, Sidlow, Buchanan.
Ackers
still on there doing their stuff.
Sidlow, I think this is tackle 5 it is, so they're going to have to kick here. Dewsbury looking to respond to this kick. They wouldn't mind it going dead, they wouldn't mind it going dead, they'd love it going dead, and that's exactly what's happened. They get a tap back on the 20 and 7 tackles, and they'll breathe a big sigh of relief here, Dewsbury, because they've got a bit of ball in their hands. Dewsbury fans not happy.
Fourth time you said that there.
Where's Warren?
Are they not happy in general, or something the referee's doing?
Once he gets up and plays the ball. This is Jack Teamby, who was on the Wakefield Trinity books. Just looking to hammer it forward as best they can. It's gone to ground. The referee is going to give Toronto the head and feed at this scrum.
Which is the right decision. Paul Sykes trying to push the play down the short side, and Glover couldn't handle the ball. There he is, knocks it on.
We need a ball. Oh, we've got one. McCrone, he got it in his hands. I couldn't see it. Anyway, he's fed the scrum. And Whiting over on that right-hand side. So Toronto with those 3 tries, 12-0 they lead, and they're shaping up again now to get back inside their opponent's half. Swiftly as they possibly can, Briley. And here's O'Brien. 2 will-o'-the-wisp type players, aren't they? O'Brien dumped on his back there. Heavy effort. Knocked a bit of wind out of O'Brien for a few moments. Rolls in a dummy half again. Krasnicki on the field with his bright white shirt on, unmuddied, unstained so far. Won't be long before that gets a bit on it. And he got a second attempt there in the tackle. As Krasnicki was getting up, there was a second attempt from a Dewsbury player. Referee says, we'll have none of that. And he's given a penalty here for Toronto.
Well, you asked the question, what did Dewsbury do to stop the flow in relation to getting the ball? They can't stop the speed of the ruck, and that's troubling this Dewsbury team, so they're getting a bit scruffy in and around the ruck and conceding penalties.
Here's McCrone. Sidlow throws it back to O'Brien, who dribbles a little, manages to keep a hold, takes the tackle, the lesser of 2 evils, gets up and plays, and Kay back towards the middle again. And now Buchanan, just putting his heart and soul and those big shoulders into the job and pushing and getting a few extra metres after contact. Ackers with a one-handed pickup, slips a little, and the communication wasn't as it should be. Bussey knocks on, dives on it just in case.
Well,
it's knock on.
Young Andy Ackers never had control of the ball. Here you see, picks the ball up, sees the opportunity, struggling all the time, and never quite had control of that ball.
Have you got a simple? I mean, whenever we see a ball's being dropped in a game in conditions like this, you look on social media and all the players are saying, give us a ball we can catch in wet conditions. Have you got any sympathy with that? Is it a difficult ball to handle in the rain?
It can be. I think, yeah, it can be. It makes handling the way that you want to handle very difficult. Remember, rugby league's a running and a passing game in essence. And if you can't run a pass because of the state of the ball, then makes it harder, or everybody has to simplify it a little bit and we see less skill.
Is there a ball out there that is easier in these kind of conditions?
There might be. I don't know what to say about that. You know, there might be.
We'll look into that some other time. I can see your reluctance to take this conversation any further. So we're going to the right-hand side here, or the left-hand side, as Toronto defend. The right-hand side as Dewsbury type to attack. Lucas Walshaw, another. There's plenty in this Dewsbury side who've been on Wakefield's books one way or another. He's another. Dewsbury 5 short of the halfway line, trailing 12-0. Penalty this time. Too much messing about from the Toronto players, and listen to the roar from the Dewsbury fans in appreciation of that decision.
He's a tough kid, that team, but he'll keep going in and around the middle. Buys his team a penalty with the help of 1,000 vociferous Dewsbury fans who get their way there.
Dewsbury fans are happy. Here's Walshaw, just short of the 20-metre mark. So a great position here for Dewsbury to try and build from. 2 balls on the field just at the moment. Need to get rid of one of them. Off it goes. So let's start again. Teammate once more. Oh, that's a clattering big effort from him, wasn't it? Again, you can hear that contact. What is it, 30 miles an hour collisions on a rugby league field. Now it's Sykes. Sykes with the ball out to Moore. They've got the numbers. They didn't have the ball.
They blew it.
Macaulay Halletchin sends it spinning out of play.
They said it was touched by a Wolfpack player. Head and feed. Dewsbury.
Yep. Dive over the line there from Ryan Briley, I think.
He's adjudicated he touched it as well in his efforts.
It's hard to see from our point of view. But
well, they created some numbers there on the Dewsbury. In essence, there's 2, possibly 3 over.
Kyle Trout on the field, you can see there with the number 28 on his back. He's another ex-Wakefield lad. There was a suggestion at one stage that Wakefield might even play here because of the problems they have with their ground and its development. That might still be the case at some stage. Sykes now to this right-hand side. Here's Glover. Searching for a bit of speed off the ground. Doesn't quite find it. Sykes now back on the inside, and Trout goes, dare we say, fishing for a hole in the Toronto defence and not finding it.
Well, you dare say it.
Speakman dashing away and very nearly outfoxing that defence. Brown now comes left, and Sykes will just stand it up, and as he finds 1-2 defenders in his face, he somehow manages to slip that ball away. And I think underneath all of that is Teenby, who's going to get up and play the ball, and there's an opportunity. Trout again is very close. Big fella, but the defenders hold firm. Jabbed into the in-goal area. Was that touchdown? Yes, the referee's going to give this. Aaron Brown, I think, just got a hand on that. Speakman's claiming it as well. I think either of them. I think they both touched it down. It's just a case of which one the referee's given. But Brown was certainly the sharpest into that to try and get his hand on the ball.
Yeah, I think it was Brown. Let's have a look. A short kick. This Speakman threads the needle right through his legs.
Well, I'm not sure Brown got on that.
Well, me neither.
Not sure Speakman got on that. Let's have a look again.
Well, the ball still hasn't got it there. Did McCrone get it?
I think that's an own try. I think Gareth O'Brien's just scored an own try. We'll take you to, we'll send that to the dubious tries committee to decide who scored that. Both Speakman and Brown are claiming it. It'd be a giveaway
and neither of them got it.
It'd be a giveaway if they both shaken each other's hands and said, "Well done." We'll have a look at that again. I'm not sure who to write down now. I'm going to write Aaron Brown down as having scored that try. Paul Sykes is the man who's looking to add the conversion. There's no doubt about that. It'll be his boot who gets contact on ball, delivering it goalward, he hopes. Dewsbury have stopped the momentum and sent a tide back up this ground, and it's now 6 points to 12.
Well, he didn't get it, and O'Brien got it. So, well, he hasn't got it down there. Simultaneous is at best with Speakman and O'Brien. Simultaneous is a try, isn't it?
Well, it is a try, because look at the scoreboard.
I agree.
6 points to 12, so it is a try. And Sykes has kicked the goal. Robert Hicks has just been off the field and now comes back on. Not sure what that was about, but anyway, we're underway again. O'Brien puts the ball high in the air, and it's only one. For all that Toronto scored those 3 back-to-back tries, for all that they had that domination, it is still only 1 score in it here. Dewsbury, having scored the try and kicked the goal, find themselves just a try and a goal behind, so they'll be lifted by that knowledge. There's Warrancy. Looking to scoot out of dummy half. Robbie Ward, who's on the field, isn't it? I think who's the ex-Leeds man. There's Teenby. Has he made a difference?
It makes a big difference.
It's Sam Day who's operating out of dummy half. Gareth Moore with a kick. O'Brien will catch on the bounce. 10 from his own line. Day meets him. A couple of others there too. O'Brien's complaining about something. The referee says play on. Liam Kay dancing around. Ackers still ticking off the minutes. Bussy with a step. Ackers again inside for Sidlow as Toronto look to find a halfway mark. They've almost got there. They've still got a couple of tackles in the bag here. Ackers, Krasnicki, Hopkins rather, with a step. 10 inside his opponent's half with 1 play to go. Briley puts it high. O'Brien sets off after this. Gusdek underneath it, pouches it nicely. O'Brien was blocked by Warrancy, couldn't get through. Warrancy now will pick up the pieces and bring it back with some venom. That's a decent carry by the winger. And listen to the roar of the locals. They've got a penalty as well. There's an atmosphere inside this ground now. The home side
There's
of it
a belief, isn't there, on the back of a Warrancy carry after being bowled over O'Brien. There he goes, strong hits, leg drive, breaks the first 2 tackles.
Kicked away by Gareth Moore, so the tap restart is 40 metres out from the Toronto line. They mean business here, Dewsbury. Sykes again. This is Trout. 3 defenders straight in his face, and tackle from down below as well from Krasnicki. Sykes. Now just alongside him, couldn't smuggle the ball away. Sanday collects. Here's Team B again. Real honest, good endeavour from him, driving Toronto back defensively almost to their own line. Day goes to that left-hand side. Moore with a step back on. Just had the wherewithal to get through, knocked out of him by the tackle of Ackers in the first place. Now it's Trout. Sykes puts it back. Comes on again to Brown. Brown with a step, wriggling away from the couple, keeps it alive. Now it's with Glover. Glover puts the head through. He's heading for the line, but he can't go without his legs, which are firmly in the grasp of the defender Sidlow behind him. They're on the last. Sykes again with a grubber kick. It's a slide by O'Brien, who gets the ball and is just about in the field of play. Referee feels that O'Brien was harshly done to.
Well, he's tackled, and this is what he adjudicates. So that's finished now. He's tackled, and then boom.
Wasn't it?
Jordan Crowder didn't think so.
So a clearing penalty for Toronto. 10 minutes of the half remaining. And Briley. Hopkins. Krasnicki. McCrone. Bussey. Bussey trying to get out of the grasp of a couple of defenders just inside the Dewsbury half here. Ackers again collects. Krasnicki firing it forward. Dewsbury defending firmly at the moment. Briley, O'Brien just gives the outside defenders something else to think about when he comes on with his pace. Briley, Sidlow, eventually dragged down, 15 out, 1 play to go. Ackers, time to look left and right, comes to the left-hand side of McCrone, who steps inside the challenge of Day and gets that pass away. Bussey now, he's lost it. Bussey's lost it. I'm not sure what he's pointing at, but he's lost it, and Dewsbury will get the ball back.
I think he was thinking that the play was going to the right.
So Dewsbury, well, we talked about that confidence, gathering confidence all the time here now. Gareth Potts. It's a good carry by the
Leg drive, wasn't it, from Potts?
It's a Batley just up the road, and Halifax as well, as we said, he knows his way around this division. Teamby down on the ground, facing them up he gets and plays the ball, and now it comes to Trout, and Trout just straight forward and slugging it in. They're wrapping around his big frame to slow him down and ultimately stop him. Day goes left, Moore with a kick, the chase is on. O'Brien has it covered here, and he'll just allow it to go out of play. Toronto will get the ball back, but only 10 from their own line.
Well, good game management from Gareth Moore. His team put a big shift in there, rocking the ball out of their own half, and he finds a sideline to give them a breather at what they consider to be the right end of the field.
It's Paul Rowley underneath the hood. He's watching on. Looking at the official clock here, I think we've played a little more time than our clock is telling you. We've got about 6 minutes of the half remaining. It's all relative time. That's a good effort, all relative. Rugby league matches, the bigger effort you put in, the more rewards you get, and that's exactly what they've got there, because Stanley was pushed back. That's going to be a penalty. Well, they're trying to do the rough stuff, but as soon as the legs go up in the air, it becomes dangerous.
They're landing on his neck as well.
Yeah. He's just having a word with his touch judge on the near side, just for confirmation. I wonder if he's thinking about whether there might be a card due here, because it was a dangerous tackle, or whether a telling off or talking to will suffice. You suspect there was no intent in that. It was all about technique.
You're the only fool in the ground.
You're the only fool in the ground. He's obviously not spotted you, Brian. So the referee, well, here we go. Have a look. Yeah. Paul Sykes was pulling at the legs there, wasn't he? Was.
Lifted beyond the horizontal, spear tackle adjudicated.
Kick to touch. It's given Toronto, and Bob Bezic is on the field. Here he goes. Another one with a clean white shirt suddenly appearing. And Toronto moving it with Stanley. Bezic scuttling in at dummy half again. Hickson now will carry it over the halfway line.
They're pretty vigorous at the moment, aren't they, Dewsbury?
Well, they're only a score behind. They know that if they can keep it like this, maybe to half-time, or maybe even better this, that gives them a platform for the second half. Slightly downhill. Macron now. The ball for Bussey. Tries to pierce the hearts of those defenders, but he's held up 18 yards away. Sidlow now will carry it in. Just a firm launch of the shoulders. Bezic on the 6 comes left. Macron with a pass. Whiting. They're grasping at him. Well, he's managed some fancy footwork there to keep that alive. Macron then drops it backwards. Dewsbury have it back. And it all got a bit frantic in the end.
Well, they were going for the try-scoring play, and in the end had to manufacture something. Dewsbury survive again.
Look at that, it's a lovely little flick. It's all for nothing in the end. Warrancy searching the middle of the park because he can produce runs like that, but he's run behind one of his own men. An obstruction. So a penalty in front of the sticks.
Probably take 2. Let's have a look. Who does he run behind? Him.
Yeah.
He's the defender. Robert Hicks says, can't do that, Rob. Fair advantage.
If he'd have stopped and taken the tackle there,
yeah,
he'd have been all right, wouldn't he? But
yeah.
So a penalty, as Brian says, Toronto electing for the 2 here. And this is a big compliment for the way Dewsbury have been playing, that a position here that Toronto are happy to take the 2 and get themselves a couple of scores lead again.
Yeah, keep the tins rattling. I think it's a sensible decision. The weather's coming in and out, the rain's coming in and out, which makes skillful play a little bit more difficult.
So Bryan in front of the sticks. He's missed 3 so far, but they've tended to be very wide out. That one was eminently kickable, and it's 14 points to 6. Paul Rowley, the coach, looking on, and his side back with a 2-score lead now. It's Chris O'Connor, the man with the woolly hat on. He's your analytics man, isn't he? All kinds of...
Not to be confused with Cambridge Analytica. He's not sending anybody's details anywhere.
Nobody's going to get voted into the White House on the back of what Toronto are doing at Jews. Although you never know these days. But no, he looks into everything that's going on the field. It's all technical stuff these days, isn't it? Not just how many tackles, which shoulder you hit with, how hard you hit, all the rest of it. Anyway, underway. We just enjoy the purity of watching big fellas having a go at big fellas, and some little ones scuttling around with some magical adventure as well. 14-6 for Dewsbury, for Toronto rather. 2.5 minutes to go. Sims with the offload, flying through the air. Here's Bezic. Tackle. McCrow. Dummy half. Hopkins put to ground. Bezic again. Sims goes galloping forward. Hair bouncing around on the back of his head there as he takes it in, and now McCrone, and back to Sims, who's got another effort to do. He puts the pass away to Sidlow, soft-handed to Maitur and Stanley down that right-hand side. 5 tackles gone, 40 metres to cover. They'll be looking for a kick. Here comes the chase. It's a good chase, not a great pass, but O'Brien dodges away from the tackle, does still get the kick away. It's a high hanging one as well. It's taken well, and Dewsbury have possession 20 metres.
That's some Potts, wasn't it?
Yep, Gareth Potts. They're not happy. Again.
They've gone back to being not happy. They were happy a minute ago.
Not happy, no, not happy. Day. Dummy half. Picks it up, Warrency. We'll pick it on and take it on again. Apologies, by the way, if you're picking up any bad language at home. I do apologise for that, but hope you're not been taking any offence. Warrency, second effort, was that from Sims? No. Referee says play on. So Day, little juttering run from him. Robert Hicks puts the arm in the air, says that's the 5th. Here's the last. Slip in the first instance from Robbie Ward, then the kick through. O'Brien bends his back and picks it up.
But a bit brave there, O'Brien. Took the ricochet, it was a 50-50.
There's a few Toronto players in the Dewsbury line at the moment. Fatigue setting in towards the back end of this game. Back end of this half, I should say. Just about a minute to go. All the way across to Kay. Kay to McCrone. McCrone now gets... Oh, Whiting's lost it. He was heading down the hill at pace, but he's lost the ball. Glover now has it back for Dewsbury. This is a free play, by the way, so wherever it stops, the count starts. So there's 6 tackles to go from here. Day's the man at dummy half, goes left again. Here comes Teamby to plough forward another extra few yards. 5 tackles to go. Dewsbury pressing. Can they go in level at the break? Trout now will take it on. 30 seconds left. They can't go level. They're 8 points behind. I wonder why Brian Noble was looking at me in a strange fashion. Now it's Sykes. Sykes. Oh, and Ward dropped it.
What a shot.
He was hit from right and left, and he's stayed down a little. The referee blows the hooter. That's the end of what has been a thoroughly entertaining first 40 minutes. Dewsbury have played more than their part as well. 6-14 the half-time score. Brian Noble, what have you made of that?
Yeah, tough encounter. Big blokes thumping into each other. That less technical side of the game, which is very technical to some of us. And then that 3-try burst in a 10-minute period from the Wolfpack, ostensibly taking the game away from Dewsbury. And then the fight back from Dewsbury. The ricochet kick and the kick try, giving him some belief for this second half. Game on.
Well, it's been good stuff. A couple of bright moments from both sides. I think one of those was a try for Adam Hickson, who I think is over there right now, speaking to Matt Shaw.
Adam, what are your thoughts on the first half?
I think we've gone tough. Conditions don't help, but just need to keep getting to a kick, stay in that grind. Dewsbury a good side. We don't like at home, we're tough teams to beat, so just keep completing high and getting to our kicks.
That right edge seems to be having a lot of success. All the damage has come down that edge you're playing on.
Yeah, Kaz's doing really well. He's organising as well. Rennie and Chase, 2 big boys, hard to stop, and hopefully I can pick up the piece on the edge there.
You wasted no time with a diving effort to get back into the flow of things, did you?
Yeah, it's nice to be back playing again. A few years on the sideline, so it's good to be out here.
Thanks, Adam.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
He is going to love this. A few days ago, he had back pain. What happened?
For back and muscle pain relief, he reached for non-medicated gels until he discovered Voltarol. Its triple effect targets the pain, whilst its powerful anti-inflammatory ingredient helps speed recovery. So it's game on. Voltarol Back and Muscle Pain Relief Gel. Now with the innovative new No Mess applicator. Targeted pain relief without the mess. Voltarol No Mess applicator.
Discover a different sub every day with the new sub of the day, only £2.49. Yopa can now sell your home with no sale, no fee. Unless, of course, you live on Mo Farah's daily running route. Yopa! Seriously, why not? Book a free home valuation at yopa.co.uk.
Oh my God.
Oh, you dropped it. It's still yours. It's a hug.
Sign up before midnight on the 19th of April.
It's though you've hidden in the check.
Someone's ringing the bell.
If we come to your postcode, just make sure you're playing.
When I'm not jet-setting around the world, I'm making these handsome little fellas, which capture me at my best. Look, it's me but tiny.
My mate said I should build a website and flog them online. So when I found GoDaddy, I thought, bingo! Designed and built in less than an hour. And customer service is great if you get stuck.
Hello, Freddie.
Hello.
Preston School's under-11 chess champion. Boom. Start building your business with a GoDaddy website.
Now brain over behind.
My family. You could say we're enthusiasts. But for all their oddities, I love them dearly. That's why I'm arranging my life insurance with Royal London. It takes just a few minutes. You can get up to £500,000 cover. And monthly payments start from just £5. So I know they'll be in good hands.
Buy direct until May 31st and get a £50 amazon.co.uk gift card. Visit royallondon.com/life or call 0800 500 3100.
With Bupa, you'll get fast access to treatment, and for some conditions you might not even need to see your GP first. With direct access to expert advice, you'll soon be back, doing the things you love with those you love. Bupa Health Insurance. For living. Call 0800 804 4111 now.
Because nighttime. Because babysitter. Because, remember this? Because places to be and be seen. Because letting go. Because our time. Because hybrid. Because sometimes the only reason you need is because. Toyota CHR.
That's why your name written all over. It's ringing.
Mum? Dad? I've renounced all my possessions and I'm moving to Milton Keynes with my spirit guru and lover/father figure, Keith.
That's nothing! I just rented a BMW 5 Series for £49 from Sixt, and we're off to Margate.
Sixt! Drive smug!
Free Sports is searching for the UK's best 8-ball pool player. Join us every Monday night as we travel around Britain looking for its top sharpshooter. The IPA Free Sports Champions Cup. Live every Monday on Free Sports.
Welcome back. It's a bit of U2 firing off in the background here, and they're all loving this game so far. The Dewsbury fans have been happy, unhappy, happy again. Well, they'll be relatively okay at the moment because their side are very much in this competition. I should imagine that Neil Kelly will just be reminding of his players of the situation they were in last week when they were only 2 or 4 points, I think it was, behind Featherstone Rovers, and the second half ran away against them. So they'll be wanting to counter against that. Look at that. They start them at all ages. Dewsbury colours at what, less than 6 months old, surely. Fantastic. Well, I don't think he or she will remember this occasion today, but I'm sure they'll be reminding that little one of the day they went to watch rugby league and Dewsbury were playing against Toronto. Paul Rowley's out of the dressing rooms early, said what he's had to say, and taking his position back in the back of the stands for this second half. 3 tries for Toronto in that first half, but the 2 of them at least scored right in the corner, so it made kicking very difficult, so none of them converted. But they have tagged a penalty on as well. So that's why they have that 2-score lead. And in the second half, Dewsbury are, it's, as we said before, it's not quite the exaggerated slope of Batley last week, but there is certainly a camber on this field which looks to be in favour of Dewsbury. Am I right in that estimation, that in the second half they're going slightly downhill, Brian?
It's more of a crown in the middle, so the field ebbs away at either side. There's no distinct hill. I think looking at the screen, it's probably, if anything, it's going from left to right, so it will be in Toronto's favour.
Do you reckon? You see,
Yeah,
I think it's going from right to left.
Well, you're the one wearing glasses, not me.
Well, maybe there's a moral in that story.
Yeah.
Crown Flat, of course, is the new Crown Flat, the traditional name for this ground, because of the crown. It's a name that goes back into the annals of rugby league history, Crown Flat. We're about to get the second half underway here. Toronto coming out, Macron leading out his team. And Dewsbury will not be far behind, coming out of that very smart-looking stand on the opposite side. So it's a tidy ground, this, isn't it? Tidy ground. A lot of the Yorkshire grounds in particular tend to be tighter for some reason, tend to be a little bit smaller. Even in Super League, you go to the likes of Castleford and it's a tighter ground than some of its Lancashire counterparts. So Paul Sykes bringing out Dewsbury for this second period. What's their message here? What's the Dewsbury message?
Well, I think Neil Kelly will be secretly quite pleased to be within striking distance to the Wolfpack. I think they've aimed up in and around the middle. Paul Sykes orchestrating everything.
There is Neil Kelly. Neil Kelly, one of the real likeable characters in a rugby league. Played for this club. Played for Featherstone and Wakefield and Hunsted, and his brother Andy was never far away as well. Another of the likeable blokes of rugby league, the Kelly brothers. Coach Widnes, of course, into Super League. Let us not forget. He was Coach of the Year as well, wasn't he? The year they stayed in Super League. So he's got credibility and experience right at the top level. Here comes the high kick, which just a little bit of a handful for Briley to catch, but he has caught it, and Toronto had possession in the early stages. Coming up the hill or down the hill, depending whether you believe me or Brian, in this second half. Bezic looking for just a hard labour again here, Toronto, to get themselves into a good position. Sidlow, Sims now running in with real intent, bounces in, has another little go, tries to get underneath them, but they're lying on top of him. And now it's with Sidlow again, turns it back to Macron and out to O'Brien, who's coming into the line, and kicks and says, chase that, Liam Kay, and Kay loves the chase, but the ball just beats him out.
He was probably hoping that was going to stay in. Smart kick from O'Brien down the sideline. Richard Whiting probably at full speed there. As quick as Richard gets, Kay on the fly. And the ball dribbles out, and Dewsbury will be mighty relieved about that.
Not a bad end to the set, decent set. First set of the half, and your opponents feeding the scrum 10 yards from your own line. I think they'd have taken that. Toronto, Dewsbury know that they now have to respond like for like. Get themselves downfield as quickly as possible here. Starting from such a deep position. It's going to be tough. Just getting up and playing it, and Day coming out from the dummy half position. Trying to feed it on again and get these big fellas rolling downfield. Crowther on that occasion. It's a kick from inside the 40, but it's clearly not aimed at the touchline. It's just hit down the middle to make it as difficult as possible to be dealt with by O'Brien, and he picks up smartly. And what a hit! What a hit that was from Lucas Walshaw. Tackle of the day.
He bent his 6'7" frame then, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, I think he's only 6'6", but he might have grown an inch on the back of that tackle. So you're probably right. Toronto up towards the halfway line. but at least one of their number, Gareth O'Brien, is hurting a little. Bezic looks as though he might be hurting a little as well there.
Well, I think he carried the ball and he's getting his engine up to speed as much as anything else, Bob Bezic.
Sims, short pass, the no-look pass from Ashton Sims. We're all doing it these days. And now Bezic goes left, Macron puts the kick in, it's back on the angle, so Gusdek has to readdress the situation, but he does so with aplomb. And Warrancy will bring it out from dummy half. We've seen he can wreak a little bit of damage.
I think he was looking for the reverse, whatever they call it, the reverse kick, so kick against the grain there. Straight into Gusdek's hands.
Day putting it back, and that's a good effort from young Ward, who's getting up and flapping the arms. He wasn't happy with how long he was held down for. Warrancy now, standing start from him, but he's got the footwork and he's got the body size and he's got the intent, but he can't get through those defenders. Sam Day, just a little sluggish, play the ball. Teamby bouncing in and bouncing back again. Day. Sykes helps it on its way. It's Walshaw who kicks it downfield. O'Brien's got it in, and I think he's going to say, you know what, I'm going to stop bringing this ball back because they keep absolutely smashing me. Glover on that occasion.
Well, it was a brave play again from O'Brien because a decent short kick. And Walshaw picks him out and thump.
Well, on the back of one of those, I think most mere mortals will be spending the next week in hospital. But Gareth O'Brien's just had two rattlers. His jaw's still rattling. His rib cage is reverberating. And he's coming in for a bit of more action now. Maitua has it. Tackle on Stanley. That's the fifth. Here comes the last. Briley. Macron now. Steepling high again. Should be and is a simple catch for Potts. And a good chase from Toronto, and Dewsbury start from there. Tackle one, 10 metres up. Slow again. Sykes slides into acting half. Here's the big fella. Walshaw. Rails to the ground, wants to get his footwork again. His Sims up all over him, shakes him off, and now it's played, and Ward just half bursting through. He's a little handful in the middle there, isn't he?
Yeah, they roll around, Day and Ward there, don't they? Sniping away, trying to find some advantage.
Speakman as well. They've got three dummy halves they've had today. Now Sykes. Walshaw thought about the pass, thought I might try and take Macron on, and then has to take the pass because Macron had made the tackle. That's 5. Day. Sykes. O'Brien. Who's going to hit him this time as he brings it back? He's looking for someone to pass to. You have a go. And so Hickson takes it on. No, I'm not suggesting there's any lack of courage there from Gareth O'Brien. There clearly wasn't. He was a player. But anyway, Sims smashes it in. Bezic at dummy half. Comes to this left-hand side. Bussy.
Well, the Dewsbury team are aiming up, aren't they?
They're getting up quickly, aren't they? Bezic manages to forage his way just inside the Dewsbury half. 4 tackles gone. Sidler, bang, his head snaps back with a challenge that's coming his way. Dewsbury heart and soul at the moment. They're on the 6. Macron dances away for one, can't get a kick in. Bussy has to. Not the intended man to kick on the 6th, but he has to. Potts will bring, Gusdek rather, will bring it back, and he's tackled on the 20.
Field looks like it. Is this right? Getting heavier.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's sprung clear in the tackle, but clearly went backwards. The referee says play on. The Dewsbury man is left on the ground. The referee's going to stop the clock. Going to be some. That's Rory Hertzcock. If you can sort this out for me, please, I'll be very happy.
Trying to see what he's done here. So he's wrestling away, gets hit in the ribs there. Yeah. The ball comes free. It's a fair shot.
Yeah. Day, isn't it? Young Day, Sam Day. Ooh. He's had a few of those. A couple of those already. Gareth O'Brien. Here's one. Bang!
Yeah.
Welcome to Lucas Walshaw. Bang! There's another. No signs of warfare. Look at that, baby-faced. It's a face a mother would love, even though it's been smashed around the park. So Dewsbury resettling themselves again now. 6.5 minutes of the second half played. Remember, they're only a couple of scores behind, they're trying a goal, and wow, we've got a real battle royale on our hands here today if Dewsbury can score next. And Toronto keen for that not to happen, clearly. Day, Sykes, inside. Walshaw's having a look to see what's there. Day again, Sykes. Looking for touch. This looks like it could be a good kick. It is.
Great kick from Sykes, isn't it?
Toronto start.
Gives his charges a rest. That's what he's aiming to do, to kick the ball in the corner. Nails this one.
Everyone gets a breather. A little bit of ongoing repairs amongst the Toronto players there. The hand is up in the air to say all's okay, so the referee says right, off we go. So the ball is played and Toronto up the hill they come here. Richard Whiting leading the search. Dewsbury getting back 10 here. Hard work required from them in these next few minutes just to keep a hold in this game and maybe rattle Toronto's poise. Bezic from Maitua. McCrone across the line. O'Brien with a miss-out pass to Kay that's given him just a bit of a glimpse of daylight to run into.
Well, it was a free 15 metres, smart play.
Sims, Sidlow came on at pace there, did Hopkins. He did well to leap and catch and carry on the carry forward. Bezic. Briley's got some sharpness. Maitua too has got plenty of game smarts, but he's held up. And they've only got 20 metres to cover with one tackle to go. Bezic. Briley. Skipping across the field. McCrone's pass. O'Brien now. O'Brien with a kick towards the corner. We know Kay will be after that.
Wow, have it.
Kicked out of play.
Brilliant.
Potts.
Gareth Potts, no chance. Whooshka, volley. Top corner.
Rosed.
Rosed, what's this? Great kick. Smart last play. Good chase on the go. Bang.
If only Norman Hunter had done that in 1973 against Poland, we might have been celebrating another England World Cup victory. It's one for the grandkids. Drop out underneath the sticks. Eventually, they're going to take all the time in the world here. It's a good idea that we could borrow from the NRL is the shot clock. As soon as the ball goes dead, you've got 1 minute to take the draw. That'll be good because it gets very slow from the dropout very often, doesn't it? So here comes Toronto.
Shot clock.
Shot clock.
Not shot.
Shot.
S-H-O-T, isn't it?
Is it shot clock? Is it shot clock? Right, yeah, you might be right.
What's the shock about 1 minute?
Well, it's a shock if you're running out of juice and you've got to drop out and they come running at you again. Here comes Bezic out of dummy half. Toronto are running it back in again. Hopkins held up. Less than 15 away. Bezic once more. Goes left McCrone. McCrone's got numbers out there. Slips as he tries to bring it back against the grain of defence. Footwork lets him down. The ground disappeared from under him. Sims rolling in. Day. Speed bump. Getting in his way. Briley's chip towards the corner. A tester, but Warrenson. I think it's going to be a penalty for the collision in mid-air. Good stuff from Warrenson.
Well, I'm not sure because it has much choice here. It's going for the ball. Competition in the air. Warrenson takes it cleanly. Well, Hickson doesn't want him going the distance, so definitely a penalty. There you go. There's the catch from Warrenson.
Yeah, I think there's an argument there that Hickson's trying to get the ball as well, isn't there? So,
yeah.
Anyway, it's a penalty. No real arguments. Dewsbury, 25 from that line. Rolling it in, Day. Toby Everett back on the field, just Trout and Teamby, I think, are the two who've gone off. My ears didn't deceive me. This now is Robbie Ward. second year here at Dewsbury, Featherstone before that, but as we said, he started his life as a Leeds Rhinos Academy player.
Become a battle of the kicks this second half, hasn't it?
Moore.
Here's Moore with
Here's
his
another
effort.
Up and away, into the hands of Kay. Kay, chance to size up the opposition. That's a very, very, very good carry from Liam Kay. I think his teammates will be happy with that. 10 metres.
Player, isn't he?
He was caught, there were 3 of them on it, and he still made 10 metres. Bussy. Bezic. Hickson, the other winger, showing that he can put some hard yards in as well, and he does. Bezic stands and waits. Dewsbury inside their own half in terms of their defensive line. On a bit by Krasnicki. Still a couple of tackles to go. Bezic goes looking to that left side. He throws with a hand there off the Sykes. It'll be another set of 6 here. This is the 0 tackle.
So they've got a repeat set on the back of that charge down, so it's back to 0 now.
Buchanan. Bezic. Krasnicki. Again ploughing forward. He's left Sam Day on the floor again. He's clearly in the walls here, Sam Day. Wants to get up and carry on with it. I'm not sure it was. I don't think any of the players.
It was an accident. It banged, clash of heads, or he's caught somebody's knee. Let's have a look. Yeah. One of the angular parts of his body is caught there. On his head, watch. Boom, there it is. Forearm or his bicep. Leaving the field.
Just look at these players up the tip. But one of them, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Macaulay Hallett, who bit his tongue so badly, he nearly bit part of his tongue off a year or so ago in a match. And he carried on playing for 10 minutes. He carried on playing.
Why do you keep getting surprised about the absolute fortitude of these blokes that go out there? You'd be struggling if you cut a bit of your tongue off with your job, wouldn't it?
Some would say, Brian. 6 tackles to go. Here comes Ashton Sims, who's 15 metres out. Toronto, well, if they can score again, add an element of comfort to the scoreboard, if not the game conditions. O'Brien with a pass out wide, and Hickson with a diving, acrobatic finish. Welcome back, Adam Hickson. A try in each half. He's missed the action. We've missed that kind of action. And Toronto lead 18 points to 6.
Well, this is the lead up. This is about Bezic and Briley and O'Brien with the last pass, wasn't it? Here we go. Here's the lead up play. Bezic out the back. Briley hits O'Brien, and then boom. That is one heck of a pass. Rob Warranty had snuck in to try and stop the play, and once he'd exposed himself, that he left Adam Hickson spare, and Gareth O'Brien finds him brilliantly well.
Well, wingers these days, as we keep saying, the finishes they provide, it's almost mundane, almost a mundane. And it's going to get to the point where they're going to have to do 3 somersaults for us to get excited with the way they finish. Paul Worley will be happy. Ryan Briley gets another test of his touchline goal-kicking skills here. 12 points the difference. So big kick, because puts this over, and he's given Dewsbury 3 scores required to get back in the game. At the moment, 2 tries, 2 goals gets them level. So this just might knock a little more wind out of their sails. 1 out of 4 so far today. There's a look. Settles himself. Dewsbury fans in noisy attendance just over his right shoulder. He's set that off. Oh, it's well wide. It's well wide. I think he might be spending an afternoon or 2 on the kicking fields in midweek just to sharpen that up. But 18 points to 4. 18 points to 6.
Here's the play. Bezic out the back. Briley, nice skill. Gareth O'Brien, pinpoint accuracy. Great finish, Adam Hickson.
So Sykes with the restart. Toronto letting it bounce, and it gets dangerous when that kind of thing happens. It's all over the place. Anyone could have watched that down. like when the doors opened at Harrods Sales, everyone was rushing in there. It's Toronto who have it. Look at this. Whoa, whoa, hey, whoa. Dixon.
Well, somebody has to dominate that, call the ball. That's mine.
Bezic going out of the dummy half. Shows a little dummy. Macron. Lancing left and right. He's going to go left. They're going to set up with a kick there.
That's a 40-20 attempt.
A terrific kick from Gareth O'Brien. And it has put Toronto right back on the attack with a tap, which they can take quickly, which they can take whenever they want. Oh, the referee's just holding them up. Now he says you can play it. But what about that kick? I mean, what a skill that is in the game. O'Brien now, having put them there, has a chance to add. His pass out to Stanley and a penalty for Toronto. What about this kick, Brian?
That's awesome, isn't it? Boom. Play 4 set up. Beats Guzdeck in the flight. Keeps going.
It wasn't just a
that into you.
40-20. It was a 25-15. That wasn't it? How was it?
They still only give you a quick tap for it.
Bezic looking left. Macron again now. O'Brien steps as he catches the ball, steps away from Sykes. But there are two waiting behind. Toronto hammering this line again now. Back to Macron. Dummies to Sims and another, and then Buchanan comes rattling forward. Bezic in a dummy half. Left, and Krasnicki is over the line. I don't think he's going to put that down. I don't think it held up. I don't think the referee had the best sight, but clear enough to know that it hadn't gone down.
Happy with his work, Mr. Hicks.
He's smiling today, isn't he, Robert? Robert the ref.
Well, did he get it down?
No.
I don't think he did.
Anyway.
You could have no point blank before you saw the evidence, David.
Tell you what, there's been some close ones today, haven't there? Anyway, held up over the line this time, so they go back 10 metres. O'Brien goes back, and they're going to milk down that left-hand side. Whiting tries to pump it into the in-goal area. It's offside. So Dewsbury man touched it, and then Sykes fell on it, so he's offside, so it's another penalty. Still 24 minutes to go. Just under 23-ish. Sizing it up again here. Another set of sets, back to back. What's going on here?
Not sure.
It's a touch of, I think the touch of might be in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not taking. Come back, come forward 2 yards, he's saying. Take the tap from there. Here's Sims. So tackle one, Toronto right in front of the sticks, 8 yards away, options right and left. A little bit of sprinkling of talent both directions as well. Here's one of them, Brierley puts the pass away. Maitua's clung onto Macaulay Hallett, grabbing a hold of him and putting him down. And that's the line, you can see how close he is, he's over again. Well, they've got over that line about 4 times in the last 5 minutes, they've not been able to touch it down.
Yeah, but Dewsbury are aiming up defensively, aren't they? When they chalk, creasing again, because the hill becomes too big then.
Brierley back to Krasnicki. All see Krasnicki through one. 3 more quickly arrive. Bezic, and he's going out from dummy half. He's over the line again, but not touched it down. Back they go to the 10-metre line once more. If this was American football, they'd have 5 touchdowns now. But it's rugby league, and they've not got any. Brierley. It's Buchanan. It's Macron. It's O'Brien. It's his step. But it's a good response from that Dewsbury line again, and Dewsbury have survived 5 tackles here. If they hold out, they can give themselves a huge pat on the back for their defensive work. One last test to go, though. Macron puts it up high in the air. It's not backwards, it's Maitua. Wow, great hands there. And a big applause for Chase Stanley getting up there. Oh, he's not giving it, he's not giving it. He's not giving it. Offside, he says. I think that's the touch judge on the near side who's given that as offside. Oh, I was just about to praise Chase Stanley for the way he got up there and knocked it back.
Let's have a look. Adjudicated they're offside, so there's the kick. There's nobody in that frame offside.
not given. It's not given. It remains at 6 for Dewsbury, 18 for Toronto. Very nearly the hour mark. Very nearly eking our way into the last 20 minutes of the game, which could be huge in the context of both sides' seasons. Remember, Toronto win today, they maintain top spot under pressure at the moment from Featherstone. Toulouse having lost yesterday, London having won on Friday night, I think it was. Speakman taken in by Riley. One tackle to go for Dewsbury, 20 metres out. They come back for more to put the kick high in the air. There's a leap by O'Brien. He's taken it superbly well. Just a case of working themselves out of trouble here if they can, from inside their own half. Bezic moving in there. What's he doing here? Well, he's holding up play because Hickson's hurt himself. So just a quick chance to bring you up to date with some of those other scores as they stand. Barrow 14, Featherstone 16. Barrow really have lifted when they've played some of the top teams this year, haven't they? 14-16 there at the moment. It's Halifax 8, Swinton 12. That'll be a terrific win for Swinton to win at Halifax, but it's very close. And Lee, who'd rattled in 50 points in the first half at Sheffield, have only added 6, but they still lead 56-14 at Sheffield at the Olympic Legacy Park. So that top 4 of 5 now is just shaping up nicely, isn't it? Toronto right on top of the pile, but as it stands, they would only be a point above Featherstone at the end of the night. Forward pass! Forward pass! So Dewsbury have it back. We say as it stands, Dewsbury would love to reverse the trends here. Come on, Dewsbury, shout the locals.
Well, it's the first time in the second half they had any field position, haven't they? So they should be excited. Got a scrum. 20, 30 metres out. Attacking scrum. Paul Sykes will be the go-to person here. He'll be looking to find some kind of play.
Gareth Moore. He's the man, the Scottish international, who's going to feed this scrum. In it goes, out it comes. Sykes going right. There's Glover swifting away from a couple of defenders. 15 out when he stopped, 5 more tackles. Dewsbury can't get level with this set, but if they do score, they put themselves within touching distance again. Everett. Dealt with, thrown to the ground. Legs swept away by Krasnicki. 4 tackles to go. It's Sykes, looks left and Moore jumping on the spot, switching direction. Buchanan gathers him in, forces him to the ground. So a dummy half, it's Speakman, the former St Helens man, who goes running away out of there. Sykes again with a pass, the big fella, the second rower, Walshaw, comes running onto that. Still their ambitions thwarted, but they're getting closer and closer. And now it comes right, and that's an effort from Riley. Held up on the line, defence was good, and had to be. The sticks are swinging, because they're clattered into the uprights. The ball is rather scruffily thrown away, but an offside position. Toronto made the challenge, so it's a penalty for Dewsbury, and another set of 6 here.
Well, every opportunity. Who's the adjudicating as offside? Rinimatua maybe. He stood on the post.
So penalty and another set of 6. First effort by Riley. You can see that white line there. That's where they want to be, and how close they are to getting there. Speakman again, throws it back. Moore across. Sykes just pats it on. Goes to ground a little untidily. Glover picks it up, but there's nothing he can do with it, because they're quickly off their lines, Toronto, to make the tackle count. Speakman, blindside, searched again, mining it for some diamonds out there, but Walshaw is put down. 8 away, slowed down again. Back to Sykes, shows it to a couple of runners, throws it out to Moore. Moore lobs it over to his left-hand side, and squeezing in comes the winger, Adam Hickson. You've got to have the mud as well as the glory on the wing, and that was one of those muddy moments from Hickson. Really worked hard, rolled his sleeves up to get in there. Moore with a kick, being chased on, it bounces off, dives at it desperately, can't get there.
Nearly, so nearly, wasn't he, Moore? Saw his little chink of light, dribbled it through, kicked it on, kicks the ball dead in the end. So that's the one, that's the first one. There's the second one, just a bit too Weetabix for his breakfast this morning, or shredded wheat, or whatever he had.
So a tap back on the 20 for all his efforts there. Brave as they were, Toronto now have a 7-tackle restart again on the 20-metre mark, and they're not too bothered about the ball taking its time to get back on the field. They can take a deep breath.
Still plenty of time here.
23 minutes. Toronto with Bussy. When they scored those 3 tries back-to-back, it looked as though it was going to be a walking day for Toronto here today. But they're being made to work hard now, because Dewsbury showed a great response. They get a penalty here, though. Toronto get a penalty.
Well, Paul Sykes had a second nibble at Bob Bezic there. Bob Bezic jumping, running down the short side, found his right to play the ball quickly, and Paul Sykes pushing him to the ground again.
I read the clock wrong, by the way. It's 16 minutes. I was reading it the wrong way around. 16 minutes left to play in the game. Sorry about the panic. But there's still plenty of time. But Toronto in the ascendancy on the field at the moment. Sidler. 10 strides away from glory. Gets up and plays the ball. Bussy back to Buchanan. Struggling even closer. Bezic again. Macron. Up to the line, it's Bussy, he's trying to force his way over. Kay just skips in the air with frustration, because he felt if the ball had come his way, he would have scored. But there was no way Bussy could get it out once he'd taken on those defenders. Back to the 10, because they held up over the line again. Sims. Oh, you could hear the effort, you could see the effort, you could feel the effort. The ball comes free. It's a free play. He's passed to himself. Now Warrensey will collect it and runs it back towards the middle. Still a free play. Warrensey, they're claiming a high tackle, but I think that was around his chest. But there's tackle 1, and Dewsbury are on the road again here. Back towards the Toronto half. Great offload from Riley. Running it in with and they get a penalty. High tackle, the referee says. So penalty for Dewsbury. All things being equal, they're going to start their set inside the Toronto half. He's gone back to that.
Is it the grapple one before it, is it?
I think so. Whether it was Bussy's flaming arm, I'm not sure. But anyway, it is a penalty. 18-6 Toronto lead. They'll be glad of those 2 scores, because the way Dewsbury are playing here at the moment, there's every chance of them getting over this line at least once. Riley struggling forward again. Robbie Ward brings it left and now plays it back. Speakman with a pass away, and Warrensey, Rob Warrensey. Maybe they caught that. There's every chance he would now be celebrating.
They should catch that. It was a bullet of a pass. It created the numbers, it stripped the numbers. He was in, wasn't he? Oh, I don't know, there's a couple of defenders coming across, but he had every chance of being in. Got to catch it first, Dave.
Oh, frustration for Rob Warrensey. And his coach, Neil Kelly, who's just aged another couple of years on the back of that. It's a tough job, isn't it? There's nothing you can do, just sit there and watch your players trying to execute everything you've told them. So Briley feeds the scrum. We'll calm down a little again. 13 minutes to go. Bezic. Bussy. Skipping forward. Up to the 30 metres. Bezic. Kay. Bezic again. One-handed pick-up from him, and he's going to have a look and almost dashes through. One at the wisp. Kay starts low, brings it in. Toronto making decent yards. They've hit the 5th tackle, but look where they are. It's an attacking, kicking position here, which is pumped up into the air by Ryan Briley and is caught safely enough from Guzdek, but the chase is such that Dewsbury will have to start their set from just about 8 metres away from their own half, with only 5 tackles in the set to go. Warrancy again, that's a good carry. Good play from Rob Warrancy. At the very least gets all his players back on side, because there are a few struggling to get behind to play the ball. Ward inside, Speakman across the field. Sykes gets the pass away, Guzdek steps into the tackle. Has to use his arm to try and fend off defenders, can't really get the offload away. Back it comes again, it's a 40-20 attempt this. Well, it bounces well short, it's taken easily enough by Higson, and Higson can run it back, but Dom Speakman has done well to get up there and make the tackle.
Yeah. Looking for the 40-20 on the kick.
Kay, Whiting. Couple of tackles gone. Toronto rolling up their sleeves here and getting some hard work done to try and take this one home. Just about 11 minutes to go. Bezic to Buchanan. Bezic. Sidlow. That's the 5th. Again, they're on the 6th. And Bezic with a one-handed pickup again, just slides that kick to the corner. That's wonderfully intelligent stuff, because, as we saw, anything could happen. And what has happened is that Toronto should get their head and feet here, I think. Yep. They have, and they get a repeat set. The intelligence there of Bob Bezic.
Well, he's through a hole. I don't think he wants to run that far, so he dribbles the ball through. Got willing chasers in Stanley and Matua, and Guzdek has to play at the ball to be safe. Great play from Bezic, as you said.
10 to go. 10 to go and counting. Toronto scoring the only try of this second half, which is why that scoreboard reads 18 points to 6. Briley will feed the scrum. Stanley steps back on the inside. Chase Stanley, that's a big solid carry by him, and eventually they amass around him in numbers. Bezic again spins it back. Briley, McCrone, here's Bussey on the left foot looking back towards the middle. Swarm of Dewsbury players again. Hopkins, Sam Hopkins is held up, spinning out. Bezic, Briley's for the drop goal, and over it goes, and that's a real making sure moment from Ryan Briley, because that does settle any lingering nerves, because at 19 points to 6, Dewsbury now have to score 3 times in this game.
Well, they didn't miss. They decided to come away with something, which is quite rightly, game management wise, means they're going to be a bit more expansive now, Dewsbury, to score 3 times.
Not impossible, but certainly improbable. Sykes going short down that blind side. Bezic has that read.
Immediately on the back of the drop goal, we see the difference in mentality from Dewsbury. It's Paul Sykes trying a short kick to try and get the ball back, because they'll need some possession at this end of the field.
Bezic. Buchanan. Sidlow. Those big men are doing their job again here. The heavy carrying, get their team back in range, keep their opponents as far away as possible. Hopkins is just upended, and it's a trip. So is that a card?
Used to be a send-off, a mentioned trip.
Yeah. Was that changed?
I think that's changed, yeah.
Right.
Look at this. Yep, definitely tripped him.
Kind of trap, wasn't it? Well, had they not kicked that drop goal, there's no doubt they would be kicking for goal here, but an extra 2 points don't make a lot of difference in terms of where they're at, so they'll just take the kick to touch and take the position, and at the very least run the clock down in the end of the field that they want to be here, Toronto. Staying top of the championship. Maytao with a pass to the right-hand side. Stanley, just the threat of him being carried to the touchline. Quick response from Maytao and Hickson to make sure that doesn't happen. Briley, Sidlow. You could see his head. It was like a man going down in quicksand, wasn't he? He couldn't stop himself going down amongst all those defenders. This now is Buchanan. Bezic to the right, and Briley's pass to Maytua scored the game's opening try. Wriggling close on that occasion, but he's going to be tackled. And was that the 6? Is
last play, wasn't it?
Yeah. Or is it just... Oh, he stopped because of the injury, I think. He's hurt himself here, Rennie Maytua. Oof. Try and walks on, wait till the physio comes on. So, he's taking a big bang here, isn't he?
He's on shin, is it?
He was swinging the arm as though it was the arm, but it's clearly ankle.
I
think that's the signal for he's not going to be playing on here, isn't it? Swirling with the arms around the head. Let's have a look at this. There's a lot of twisting and a lot of collision in there. Nothing of a nefarious nature. I think it was just accidental in there, but he's played his last in this game here, Rennie Maytua. Running repairs on the Dewsbury troops as well. So he's just giggling there because Brian Noble looked round and I'd sat down and he couldn't see me. And he was
thought he'd left.
He was quite surprised.
I thought he'd go walk around. I thought, what has he gone?
Just sat down, Brian, that's all. Get to my age, you can't do the full 80 minutes. 73 is the limit. Anyway, back on our feet.
They walk around like...
Ball back exchange on the field, number 16, Rennie Maytua, replaced by number 14, Drew Magnus.
So Andrak's back on the field, as you heard there on the PA system, and Toronto eventually, it wasn't the 6, it was just the referee put the arms in the air to stop the clock, because he sensed before we had that Maytua was hurt. It's a long, slow walk. So Toronto with another couple of plays here. Eventually is off. Bezic, Sidlow, Macron, short pass, Bussy, up, and again he's over the line. Again they're over the line, but again they're held up. How many times have they been over the line in this second half?
6.
Is that 6?
I think so. It's not 6, it's 7 or 5.
Ackers.
It's a reflection of...
Forward pass, forward pass. Touch judge right in line with that, a signal to the referee, so a bit of frustration at the end of that.
932, that's 932, thank you for your running spot.
Taken forward by Jack Teamby. So Dewsbury starting from deep. Lingering hopes are just disappearing up the chimney at the moment, because they have to score 3 times. And it's almost a physical impossibility with the time that remains. Something very, very, very dramatic is going to unfold if we're going to tell a story of Dewsbury winning this game. The likelihood is that Toronto see it out now, and there's a big defensive effort that sees the ball out of play. They muscled up, they got themselves involved, and they're congratulating each other as though they'd scored a try. That's what defence means to a side. Head and feet at the scrum for Toronto.
Well, Buchanan was in a bit of strife the whole of that defensive set. He's banged his arm, he's getting some treatment now from the physio, so this is okay, but Dewsbury needed to lift their heads there and have a look. He's struggling in the line.
So Macron gets ready to feed this. I think both sets of forwards are quite happy for time to be taken here. Who decides when they pack down? It's just a mutual decision amongst themselves. Here's Whiting down that blind side. Oh, he's lost the ball. Lost the ball. I think he might have been trying to put a kick through, and it means that there's a free play over there for Potts. Thought it'd be rumbustious. Penalty given. Buster gets a pat on the back, an unwanted pat on the back from Potts. Kick to touch. We'll see Dewsbury inside the Toronto half. 4 and a bit minutes to go. Go back, says the referee. You were a foot away from where you should have taken it. Walshaw does take it, takes the tap, runs it in. Here's Ward at dummy half. Teamby clattering it in. Dewsbury looking for one last drink here before the hooter sound. Sykes puts it back. The handling is good here. But it's a penalty in the end. No advantage. The referee gives a penalty.
Penalty?
Yep. So right in front of the sticks, 15 metres out, there's not a single neuron in those collective millions of neurons in the minds of the Dewsbury players that is considering a kick for goal. They're going to go for the try here. Sykes with a tap, 6 to go. Teamby drags his big frame into the combat again. Robbie Ward comes out of dummy half, delivers it down the blind side. Oh, it's intercepted, and this fella's quick, we know that. Off he goes, Ryan Briley. That was the last attempt, I think, at knocking him over. But look how quick Ron Wallace is going. Briley, right along the touchline, will score 100 yards. As cool as you like from Ryan Briley in the end. Well, he's sharp as a tack, isn't he, Ryan Briley? Once he's away, there's little chance of stopping him. They did their level best. But that's it, game, set, match, good night, Toronto.
Well, he's picked the pocket. They were trying there, Dewsbury had to go for it, but once he's in the clear, good clean pair of heels from Ryan Briley. Rob Warranty can't get back there. Very gallant in his effort to do so. Here's the ball. Speakman trying to release his outside backs. Stays on the island as well, Ryan Briley, with a desperate tackle over from Moore. Gets in the corner. Super score. He's been good today, Ryan Briley.
It's one of those moments. I mean, he's brought a try, which is obviously fantastic. That's the basic thing. But when he looks at his stats at the end, he's suddenly got another 100 metres carry in his stats as well from that. Well, he's going to have to get the breath back in his lungs before he kicks this goal, if he kicks the goal. No pressure on this one. I think Robert Hicks has just said something like, "Can you slow down next time?" in his ear, because he was trying to keep up with him there, wasn't he? All smiles on the Wolfpack bench. Fine pairs of gnashers, all three of them. More or less the last kick of the game. The clock still ticking down. So here he comes, 1 out of 5 so far tonight. It's not been his best kicking afternoon, and it remains not his best kicking afternoon, but having scored that try in his other contribution, Brian Noble?
Yeah, I think he's Toronto's man of the match, the way he's organised the team, the way that he's, with Gareth O'Brien out the back, looked both incisive and managed the game pretty well. There's been plenty of times this season when he's been in the shout for a man of the match performance. I think the big blokes for the Wolfpack have done really, really well, and you have to say that Dewsbury have aimed up in the middle too.
Here comes the restart down the field. It's I think there's only going to be time for another couple of tackles here, maybe a bit more than that. We might get a full set in, but the Hooters imminent. Toronto leading by 23 points to 6 at the moment. And not kick the goals. If they had, it would have been far more convincing, but take nothing away from Dewsbury's effort here today. Latest scores, by the way, at least 72-20 at Sheffield now. Halifax have snuck into the lead, 18-12 against Swinton, and Featherstone are going to beat Barrow 38-22. They lead. So the big teams at the top. Oh, there's another interception. Here's a chance for Potts. Off he goes, Potts, but his party's spoiled because O'Brien's across there to make the tackle. Penalty here for Dewsbury. The hooter will sound, I think, before the penalty is taken, but they do have the right to take the penalty. Here it comes, quick tap, hooter any minute now. Teamby gathering no moss as he rolls down that hill. The hooter's still not sounding. The clock has told us that we've, the official clock inside the ground has told us we've gone past the 80 mark, but we're still playing on. Back to Speakman. That ball hits the deck, but is picked up by Hallett, who's looking back towards the middle here. Marcus Hallett, that's good intent from him. He's not that far away either, is he? Spun across towards Speakman again. Dropped it back inside for Teamby. He would deserve a try for effort alone today. Ward waits behind. Now he comes left, kicks into that in-goal area. Was there an obstruction there? No, but it will be a dropout underneath the sticks. That's it, that's it. Penalty try. He's given a penalty try. Well, it looks as though he was going to give the dropout underneath the sticks, but at the last minute, Robert Hicks says penalty try. Josh McCrone wants an explanation. Let's have a look at this again. There seemed to be an obstruction here.
Well, Buchanan might get there. My take on it, even if he decides you've obstructed him,
Bezic came across. There's every reason for a penalty to be given, but you have to be certain that a try would have scored. And it's a yellow card, presumably for Bob Bezic. It's not Bezic, it's O'Brien. It's O'Brien who's been sin-binned. So the penalty try, Sykes kicks the goal, 12-23. O'Brien's been sin-binned, and I think in amongst them LA, the hooter has sounded. Yeah, it has. The hooter's gone. Well, what a finish that was. You can never take your eyes off a rugby league game.
Different, wasn't it?
12-23, and that, I mean, that's great for Dewsbury because that lifts their hearts. Toronto already had the job done. I think they'll be very disgruntled about the way it's all finished there, but it has finished, and it is a victory here for Toronto.
Inside Ward, Limbombe! Oh yeah! Chance to equalise, and Orlando Sar takes it. Went beyond Akramafi. Oh, what a goal! What a fantastic goal to equalise!
The Belgian Pro League playoffs on Free Sport.
Your time is precious. We're with you. So we let you know when we're on our way. Search British Gas Home Care.
He is going to love this. A few days ago, he had back pain. What happened?
For back and muscle pain relief, he reached for non-medicated gels until he discovered Voltarol. Its triple effect targets the pain, whilst its powerful anti-inflammatory ingredient helps speed recovery. So it's game on. Voltarol Back and Muscle Pain Relief Gel. Now with the innovative new No Mess applicator. Targeted pain relief without the mess. Voltarol No Mess applicator.
Yopa can now sell your home with no sale, no fee. Unless, of course, you live on Mo Farah's daily running route. Yopa! Seriously, why not? Book a free home valuation at yopa.co.uk.
In Compton, you join a gang, or you find another way to survive. My horse was headed to the slaughterhouse when I got her. I think maybe, did I save the horse, or did the horse save me?
Guinness, some are made of more.
Brand new from Stihl, the lithium-ion range, just £99.
My family. You could say we're enthusiasts. But for all their oddities, I love them dearly. That's why I'm arranging my life insurance with Royal London. It takes just a few minutes.
You can get up to £500,000 cover. And monthly payments start from just £5.
So I know they'll be in good hands.
Buy direct until May 31st and get a £50 amazon.co.uk gift card. Visit royallondon.com/life or call 0800 500 3100.
If you're looking to transform your business, we've got amazing deals, like this Ford Transit Custom for just £199 per month.
With Bupa, you'll get fast access to treatment, and for some conditions you might not even need to see your GP first. With direct access to expert advice, you'll soon be back, doing the things you love with those you love. Bupa Health Insurance. For living. Call 0800 804 4111 now.
Hey, 1 pack of razors, please. Comes to 1965. What? That's a lot. Yeah, I don't... Comes with a free gift. Oh, free gift? That's cool.
Tired of getting beat up by high razor prices? Incredible shaving products for just a few bucks at dollarshaveclub.com. Oh, free gift.
Take off for New York with Expedia. At Expedia, you can book your flight, hotel, car hire, and activities all in one place. Expedia, ATOL protected.
When you start being responsible, there are certain rules you should follow. Work hard. Mind your manners. Go to bed early. Time to grow up. The Mercedes-Benz A-Class from £199 per month. Also available with 4MATIC all-wheel drive.
Chinese Super League has over 240 matches, and they've never looked better on TV. The company China Sports Media is responsible for broadcasting all of them, using an experienced team of individuals who are very proud of the current look of the CSL as it broadcasts around the world.
We seek high-tech devices for better broadcasting. A game without a sky cam, a crane or a steady cam is not what I call high-level broadcasting. Apart from basic cameras, we add some others which can provide special angles of the game, like the micro cam behind the net and a high-speed camera. These cameras make the game more impressive and more attractive. Now, with more high-tech equipment, we need to keep pace with the times and plan some good shots. Technique definitely can promote our broadcasting.
All the broadcasting teams have the same goal, which is to promote the development of football in China and the league around the world. In the past 2 years, with the improvement of CSL, the quality of broadcasting is also getting better, and their hard work is really paying off in the shows they now make.
Lately, we have been working consistently, and this afternoon is the last match where we need to hold on. Especially, some controversies happen on the pitch. We discussed it last match. Zhang Zhixi faced a 12-match suspension, which is related directly to our slow-motion cameras, how we maintain that development of football, and how to deal with the incident, which is bad for football's development. But we have reached a deal if it happens again. We like to hold a fair and equal broadcasting standpoint when we produce a match. We wouldn't favour the home team and only broadcast shots which show them in a good light.
In order to guarantee a high standard of broadcasting, the Super League does its own quality control of China Sport Media.
I hold this year's CSL manual, formulated by China Sport Media. This manual stipulated where all cameras should be put, and which shots should be played by the director in specific times. The director needs to deliver a good match by paying more attention to scenes and shots. We stay behind to judge whether they finish well. According to the manual, experiences we have gained for years in characteristics of football. We observe the programme and make a judgment.
按照足球比赛这个项目的规律特点，那么电视呢，怎么能够很恰当的、非常好的给它反映出来？各个团队能不能做到这一点呢？这是我们来评价、来观察的。
As audiences grow, so does the demand for improvement in the coverage of the football they now watch in China. And the broadcast teams hope they're delivering what the fans want too.
2年的观看当中，也做出来一些精彩的镜头。精彩的镜头呢，让大家这个。
There are lots of excellent pictures over the past 2 years. Good shots that make us feel very excited, like the Taijing derby, when Pato interacted with his girlfriend when he scored a goal. This was presented by a high-speed camera, which is very impressive.
对象2个人互相的这个。 互动的这个镜头，用这个超高速的慢动作表现出来，这个哎给大家印象还是比较深刻的。中超的整个信号制作从视觉的观感上来讲
，Television production of the CSL has had a big improvement. Audiences may not notice the change because it is an unconscious process for them, but when compared with previous ones, they definitely see and feel the improvements.
可以看到这个提升是非常的明显的。
So far, so good for China's sport media, who hope to continue their groundbreaking work covering the CSL for years to come and do whatever it takes to make the Chinese Super League one of the best on TV anywhere.
联赛的整体的价值提升，我们是希望从我们的本身的这个业务的方方面面都能对它起到作用。比如说
We want to promote the value of CSL, and I hope that what we have done can make an effect on it. This year, we have made a big change. CSL has covered more TV stations and new media. We have transmitted more short videos based on our abilities. I believe that the data about media coverage and the number of viewers must be better than the past.
观众的质量上，一定是比以往有一个非常大的提升。
全世界有96个国家，是我们中超的故事在那里落地了。
There are 96 countries, and our stories of the Chinese Super League have a deep connection with China sports media. The company has done so much, and we feel so thankful for their hard work and aspirations to promote and develop football. I believe their hard work will give the CSL a better future. This year's competition is in good order, and I predict that next year will be even better than this year.
是健康、稳定、有序、提高的在进行。我估计明年会比今年更好。
2018 Copa do Brazil, live and free on Free Sports.
They shoot and they score. 1 second remaining on the power play. Here's Wellman. Oh, what a laser beam.
The Swedish Hockey League playoffs on Free Sports.
This building is buzzing. Oh my word! You can't stop that! Are you watching this? What a shot! And the fans here are stunned. Oh, what an outstanding play! That is a spotlight moment on Broadway. 2-on-1 down low. Score! Great his high-end skill, folks. In by himself, he scores! Yes, sir! A brilliant move! Cena with the down! Oh, my! Unbelievable! That is old-time hockey right there. You won't see it much better than that.
Welcome to this Stanley Cup playoff edition of NHL Tonight. Riding alongside Alex Tanguay, Dave Reed. I am Steven Nelson. A fun fact about this squad here, if you average out the number of rings per person, it's one. Because Reeder has 2 and Tangs has 1. I ain't got no rings. And fellas, neither does Alex Ovechkin. Me not having any rings makes sense. That's mind-blowing to hockey fans, given the career he has, the resume he has. If it's going to happen this year, it starts with Game 2 in Washington. Well, all right, this is pregame now. I think that was meant for the little girl. She's sad. All right, let's try this again. The guy in the John Carlson, he thinks he's slick. He's gaming the system. Finally, she gets it, and we can get going with the hockey. That's always great to see, though. Oh, makes your day, doesn't it?
Fantastic.
Early first period, Jay Beagle back in the lineup, first time since April 1st, and that is good to see.
Offensive zone face-off win, Tangs. It's always good. And how about that stick work by Jay Beagle?
Great stick work by Jay Beagle. And then another face-off win